Let's go ahead and get started on it. Will you begin for us, please?
Yes, John. So today I work on group notification setting, pause and silence. Actually, we need Ismail input here also. So yep, I discussed with Jerry. We have decided the approach, and I'm working according to that approach. But actually, Jerry wants to discuss with Ismail for one point. Jerry, we
Okay.
want to discuss.
We can wait for him. Um,
Yes, yeah.
okay. Then let's hold
But
the thought. He'll be here soon.
okay,
Uh,
okay. But meanwhile, I already started working on it, and two API finished. Third one, I need his input.
okay, sounds good. Um, all right, thanks, all man. We'll come back to you in a minute. Um, let's jump over to you and get to hear from you yesterday. Did you get the messages I sent you over the weekend?
Yeah, I got those. The um, the one with the onboarding, the UI that's there that looks black and all of that. I know what's going on there because that component was shared into the new tagging friends. So I did some UI changes and seeing that case bleeded there. So the fix will be easy there. So I know what's going on there.
Okay.
Uh, the other thing that I'm not sure I'm following is like the invite ticket.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I follow. Like I didn't work on that, so I don't know what does that mean.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you and Jerry about it because I don't know where it comes from. But Jerry, can you hear me? Okay. Is Jerry still here?
Yeah. What's up?
Okay. Remember the different versions of the invite ticket we worked on? One of them says you were tagged in a check-in.
Yes.
Well, Amin is setting up the tagging, the external for external users, and but he's not sure where to apply that ticket. Is that something you handle, or how does?
Yeah, that's going to get applied from the back end because we're not going to be sending an SMS from the tag.
Okay, but it might be a push notification as well.
Well, if it's a push notification, that still should all be tagged from the back end. That should all be back end work if it's a push notification too.
Okay, so the back end will tell the front end what ticket is being sent. Is that right?
Oh, wait, a ticket. Okay, so the ticket.
Yeah, the ticket itself.
So you're talking about like, okay, so the ticket's only going to apply if it's an SMS.
No, you could get it from a push notification.
The ticket, like,
Actually, wait. I'm sorry. Right, just SMS.
yeah, we can record that all from the back end, but I only have one variation of a tag ticket right now.
Yeah, that's all we have.
Uh-huh.
You want me to share it with you? Or Chantel, you could probably share it. The one we worked on last week, Chantel?
Yeah, we only have one, right? We don't have multiple variations of that.
No, just one.
Okay.
So, but Amin has it set up right in Build 26. But when you invite somebody, it's not the proper image.
Wait, it's not the proper image. Like how?
Actually, it'd be easier. Amin, if you share your
Yeah.
screen and then the Slack messages we had.
So this
Yeah, the
which one?
bottom one, that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one right here, Jerry would be the only one we have for when you're tagging and checking.
That is correct.
Yeah. Do you do you need anything? How does it mean between you and Amin? How do we make this one go to
That's
the
all
tagging?
back end. If it's a contact, that's going to be part of the invite link.
Okay. Do you need to know the link? Does Amin need to share anything with you?
No, I don't need anything from Amin.
Okay, because this is live. So how would you?
I don't need anything from Amin.
Okay.
Here. Yeah.
So you can
You cut.
release it.
What was that? You cut out.
You can release this now, and so it'll be live.
Yeah, I just need to work on the ticket. I didn't get a chance to work on a ticket. I just have the other ones worked on. But yeah, I don't need anything from the app side to do this.
Yeah. Okay, good. Some more questions. So, I mean, let's go to the other ones. I think a lot of it's probably front end. But I mean, you were gonna not have the SMS,
Yeah,
right?
that how it's supposed to be. I'm not sure what's going on here because, like, I remember when I was working on this, I asked you about it. I said no, we don't need it. And like when you're gonna be tagging friends, you should not be seeing all of this.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on this. I'll have to look into it and see. Because like it was not for me because I'm working on this in a simulator and I
Hmm.
know like when I know it's working like when I press on a contact and nothing happens and I have a message that says you can't open SMS app because there's no SMS app. This is on the simulator, so that's how it is when I was working on it. So I'm not sure what's going on in here. So I'll test again and see why this is happening. This is why tagging a contact, right?
Yeah. A
Okay,
single one.
a single, yeah. Okay, I'll look into that.
Okay. Um, do you think there's any back end?
No, no, no. It has nothing to do.
Okay. What about go up a little bit more and
Yeah,
hiding zeros? Go
I,
down a little bit. This
oh yeah,
one here.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah,
Okay. We've done it, and
we've
sometimes
done
it
it.
comes back like, and then
Maybe
and
we've
then
done it in another place because like we've done it because we had this going on in other places.
mhm.
Maybe we've done it in other places, not in here. So I'll apply same thing in here.
Okay. Um, okay, let's go back up to top. So then what happened? I thought we increased the font size, but it doesn't look like it. That's the one on top is the one that you sent me a screenshot, but then
Yeah.
in the app is the one below it. So see
Mhm.
how it goes right up to the edge?
This is I sent you,
Yeah,
and this
that's
is
what
in,
you had sent me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
So it didn't make it in or I don't know.
No, it should not because increasing font is a simple, straightforward thing. I just did increase the font size.
Mhm.
And this font size, it only applies in here. It's not shared component or anything. So let me look that right now and see if there was a
Doesn't
change.
change. It doesn't change dynamically, right? Like based on the
No,
font
no,
width.
no. It's not. Like, I'm not
Okay.
sure if you can see, but here is it. Font size 14. I did it 2 weeks ago. Here's
Yeah.
it. It was not. This is the red. This is the additional one. It says font size 14 was where I increased it, and it's increased. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe there's you have some settings of scaling down,
No,
zooming down things.
no, I don't change any of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Are you maybe it's applying to the wrong thing? Maybe just the header?
no, it's like this is it. So for example, the first thing that says this version of iOS, that text, that one, here is it. This is one of it, and it explicitly says font size 14.
Okay.
So maybe something else going on. Like what phone you have? Maybe I'll try on your
It's a
model.
16 Pro Max.
That's the one that I use, I guess. 16 Pro, not Max, but I do the Pro. That's the
The
one
Max
right
is
there.
way bigger, so I don't know if that's something to do with it.
Okay, I'll try on the Max. Let me try on the Max.
Okay. Because it should always be the same um,
Yeah,
proportion, right?
yeah. Regardless, but I don't know. I'll just try it now and see.
Okay. Okay.
Um, what else? Yeah, and for this black font, I'll fix it the color.
Okay.
And you said the issue
Yeah,
here.
yeah. The show more button, I had to press it twice and then it did not show more.
Okay.
There there are more than four in my
Mm-hmm.
contacts
Mm-hmm.
that have the emojis, but it didn't show them. I was thinking maybe we just don't have the show more button because not that
Yeah,
many people are going to have contacts with emojis anyway.
yeah. I'm not sure if Jerry, if you still remember, like we had like a brief conversation about this. So I would need like from this query to tell me whether there is more on the response.
There's more than a response. Okay. Yeah.
It is the same query that we just worked on. I think last week where we added the new prop. It's all T prioritized and it's the same query.
You want the total count. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just the total count. Is that fine?
Yeah, I mean, if you just give me a total count, I will have to do one more thing in the front end. Is like to um to verify whether the total count it's equal to the results that I just had.
Which I think that's something that I need to do anyways. I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe if you do it from the front end, that might be better because I actually think I'll have to do it a couple more ways because of the pagination and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. I was thinking of something like a boolean has more boolean something like that, but if it's like it's gonna be complicated in back end, the front end is not. Just I'll derive
But
that.
but I mean, if we're not going to have the show more button, if we just remove it, do you really need to know if there's more? Why not
Are
just
we gonna are
show
we
all?
gonna oh we're gonna remove it all the time?
That's what I'm thinking.
No pagination at all, like in every
No.
screen.
Yeah, because there's not going to be that many. Um,
And yeah,
I don't
because
think those.
that's how it is in the tag and friends. The tag and friends it
Right.
has no pagination. So
Yeah.
we want to do the same in here as well.
Yeah. Exactly. Because
Okay,
we're already doing it, so.
and,
Well, the
and
button doesn't work all that great anyway, because sometimes you press it and then nothing shows up if it's at the end of the list.
okay, and
So,
what about the edit SLT because this one it's an edit SLT as well.
um, yeah, we can keep it consistent.
Okay, all of them no pagination. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that would be it. Yeah, and also I got the message from Wales regarding this. Like, yeah, like you said, like we want like as you scroll the keyboard to.
Yeah, be able to swipe down. There's actually no way to dismiss the keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
the return button just gives you another space inside
mm,
text
mm,
input. So
okay.
yeah, you're kind of trapped. Um,
Yeah.
and I thought we had those buttons closer to the keyboard. Um, it would be. I'd like to. I could have sworn Wells had showed me a screenshot a while back of everything more compact, like to see the buttons closer to the keyboard and even the text input field closer to the buttons. Um, I would like to get them a little better position closer to it. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see how Wells did it in here to position those, and based on that, I can see how to make them closer to the keyboard because I don't know how he did it here. So yeah, I'll need to look into this first to see how to apply the changes to make it closer to the keyboard.
Okay. um, sounds good. I'm actually looking through our messages, trying to see if I can find it. Not finding it. But yeah, if you could get it closer,
Okay.
you know, really ideally be sitting on top of the keyboard. Um, okay. I want to do a lot of testing around the external, like the tagging and the all that flow. Jerry, will you let me know when that ticket is ready?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on it now.
Okay, cool. And let's see. Do you have any questions, I mean, for Wells on this?
No.
No? Okay. Um, let's see if there's one more thing I have.
There's that undefined. I remember like you shared something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
and also yeah, and also on the hamburger menu when you
Yeah,
first go in.
that's yeah, that's what mine is. Yeah. I'll try it right now and see how it's gonna be.
Okay. I noticed too that well, I don't want to. I'll hold off. There's some other little things, but let's take care of these ones first. All right. Well, let me see how this goes here.
Mm, mm.
You know, getting the code.
This is a demo, so a test phone, so it just work. It should work. Cannot read property type name. What does it mean? Type. Did it just? Yeah, it just running. So it's kind of one place. Yeah, you can see here. I see it. So this is the 16 Pro Max.
Yep.
Also, like font is a little bit like
That's yeah, but that
like
one's different, right?
yeah, it's different, but like let me go back.
Isn't the other one like a
Yeah,
finish, like a
like
hard finish?
I know, just like I'm seeing like the issue that you're seeing there, the font smaller. I think it's not only applied there, but it's like the whole. It's like everywhere. You can see the difference here, like the one on the right.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit bigger, whereas this one looks smaller because there's no I think the spacing in here plays a role to make you think this is a smaller font. And
Mhm.
yeah, it looks smaller proportionally to the device, like the whole screen dimensions.
So it does um, change based on the width of the phone.
I mean, it does not change. It is static. That's why it looks smaller on
Hmm,
a big.
I see. So would it be too big on some phones? Like would it overlap?
Mm, I mean, like the font size we're doing, it's gonna be working fine for most devices. Think only like for extra big devices and extra small devices where the font size will be not like that responsive. It will not fit everywhere.
Hmm. Perhaps it should be part of the image.
Well, yeah, we're gonna fix it, but we're gonna just fix it there, not everywhere. Like the issue that I'm telling, so we can do a
This
fix
part
there.
isn't really as important, but if you go back to the Slack message I sent you, so yeah, see how like the one on the top, it's right up against the edge of the blur, and
Hmm.
so I'm imagining on a smaller phone, it will bleed over the edges.
No, we'll never blade over the edges because it might be. I mean, it was smaller phones. It might be like cropped, like hidden or something, but will not bleed over the corners because this is the container. It
So
will never get out of the container.
so it could
But
be cropped.
mhm, mhm.
Well, cropped isn't good.
Yeah, I said maybe it's not. It's gonna be. I can like go right now. This is gonna be an iOS only, and we can right now just stay on a smaller iOS right now and see. But I'm sure it's not going to be the case.
Okay. So it can't go outside the container.
It
So
can, yeah.
it only crop, but we don't want it to crop.
And we can test it right now, see whether it's going to be cropped or not. Like
Okay.
this is iOS. I don't know which one. Maybe the iPhone 8 or SE. It's the one
There's
that's small.
the SE.
The SE.
Yeah, that one's small.
So yeah, I
Uh,
can test it on SE and see.
okay. Um, or should we just make it part of the image so we don't have to worry about it?
Um,
It'll
I
be
mean, yeah,
natural
we can do
size.
that. We can do that, but like the way how I did this, it's we needed text to be like this. It was
We
like I
needed the header because it could be different eight.
yeah. So like I'll tell you what's an image what's an image there. Let me find this image. I had something as an image. So like the background is an image. The whole
Yeah,
thing is an image.
yeah. The text where it says, "How do you want to share your contacts?" That's an image.
Yeah,
So
that's part of the image.
it would just be like that.
Circles logo and I'm not sure why I need. Oh yeah, because of this. This is dynamic.
Just the header, but right. But
Yeah, and when I was working on it, I tried to have everything as an SVG and everything as an image, but maybe I don't remember. But maybe I was having issues with like having positioning this correctly
hmm,
in here. Because if it's this is gonna be an image, the whole thing an image, my container is gonna be starting from here. You know, so
yeah,
I will have to estimate where this is going to be where it was easier to have the whole text as like a React Native text, and this is my container, so I don't do any like I do not estimate anything where it positions. It just knows where it needs to be.
okay, okay. Um,
But yeah, again, having this as an image is just like we just like we just did a workaround because like the issue is not exclusive to here, but like the whole thing you can see in here. You can see if you compare this to this, you can see this font in here looks smaller. Even like they are the same font size, but the Pro Max looks smaller.
yeah, I get it. Well, let's see what it looks like on the SE. Let's just make sure it's not cropped,
Okay.
or an iPhone 8 or something. Yeah. Okay. Um, let's see. I think.
There's the SE, but I don't think there's an iPhone 8 with the latest 18 iOS.
Okay.
And so, what is this? Let's see. I don't know what's going on. There's an error, something. You type name of my
Okay. Well, it's not a huge important thing, but some of the other stuff is. So let's focus on that. And I want to I want to definitely do a lot more testing. Todd, Todd, are you here? Did you get your notifications working?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Um, so it was just like because of the test environment. Is that
I
why?
we're not really sure actually. I haven't been able to confirm just yet.
Okay. Do we
So-
know? Because what I don't want is to have this be another widespread issue.
Right.
Jerry,
Yeah.
are you pretty confident that it was just Todd's phone and not like all Androids?
That's what I'm going to say for sure. That's the most likely culprit here. Now, I wanted Todd to sign out and sign back in without like just as a normal user would, because we should have a check on the front end that should persist their player ID to the back end anytime you load the app.
Mhm.
So that's what's hard for me to tell exactly what it was because he cleared his cache and his data before he signed back in.
Mhm.
And if he had not done that, I would have more of a clue as to what had happened. But
Okay.
because he's bouncing between some of the environments, if he's bouncing between test environments, it's likely that's what happened.
But I thought, Todd, you told me you don't go into the QA environment with that phone.
I don't, but I was talking, and this is where I mentioned something to Jerry, and I'm not really sure, and he thinks it's doesn't think it's an issue, and he's probably right. But I do recall that in the last couple of weeks, going with all these phones, and then the few ones that I've been actually onboarding with and testing, there's been times where I have used a test phone, and during onboarding, I'm using I normally, out of a habit, sometimes I'll put in my own cell phone number into another phone. And I don't know if that does anything or if that tricks anything or fools anything. And I've caught myself doing it.
Mhm.
And then I've had to back out, log out, clear cache, clear data, re-onboard with the actual number of the test phone. And I don't know if I'm
shouldn't-
triggering
I don't
something
think
by
that shouldn't matter, right, Jerry?
What's that?
That shouldn't matter, right?
Yeah, I don't think that would matter because if as long as he doesn't complete the sign-in process, that
Yeah. Did you complete the sign-in process?
um well,
That-
no,
that-
because the only thing that no, because the where I realize the confusion is when I don't get the SMS to the phone. It went to my personal cell phone,
Yeah.
right?
Then that wouldn't it wouldn't
Right.
cross-contaminate.
Okay. Yeah. So but yeah, correct. I truly don't use this phone, my main phone, for any other environment whatsoever.
So then
I don't know.
it's concerning that the notification stopped. Jerry, are you seeing notifications delivered on Androids?
no,
problem?
I see he didn't get any notifications. Oh, are we getting notifications sent to Androids? Yeah, I can find that out really easily.
Let's look at that.
Yeah, there was a perfect. We had a perfect opportunity, and I should have clarified that to Todd before he had signed out that clearing the cache is what. Oh yeah. No, we had notification just sent out like a minute ago to an Android.
Okay, but maybe that's like a new user. What about just overall? Are we still is it still like at the
Uh,
same volumes?
if I could find somebody that's on an Android that's an older user. Well, what about Chantel? Or no, she flips between the environments.
Yeah,
I have been getting notifications all day on my Android.
that's good.
Yeah. For me to see, let me try this and see if this works. Ice. So it's not really easy for me to figure this out, but iPhone, like there's no filter that I can easily reference here. I just have to pick a user and hope that they're Android,
Hmm.
um, and hope they're subscribed. iPhone. Of course, it doesn't help that 80% of the users are on iPhone too. So,
It should be more like 50-50.
oh, yep, here we go. Yeah, somebody get older user Galaxy S22. Yeah, this old user. Yep, they've been getting notifications for 2 years, and latest as of 5 minutes ago, and I can confirm when they last onboarded.
Okay.
Very sorry today if I sound nasally. Came back, sinus infection. My head's just all stuffy.
That's no fun.
I I'm okay. I'm able to work. It's just, man, my head felt like it was going to explode coming down.
Oh, ouch.
I was like, I was looking at Diane, I'm like, oh my god, like I am in pain. And I was like, we need to go to urgent care after. But just a sinus infection. Let's see.
Speaking of which,
When did this guy on board? When did they onboard? Okay, this user, April 13th. Still sooner to go. 9th. Maybe I could. Oh, one single has a preach. Yeah, this user. Yeah, this user's been on the app for a good while. Let me, if I'm trying to find where they may have had to onboard, but March 20th. Oh, this is a perfect example. Yeah, this user was actually inactive for a very long time until let's see, did they ever come back in the app? I don't know when they I don't know when this user came back in the app, but they've had the app installed for 2 years and they're currently on version. Let's see. They're currently on 2.2.10, so they're not on the latest, but they've oh no, they're on .20. Sorry, they are on. This person has automatic updates and everything. It's been a while since I see that they've been in the app, but they've been getting push notifications this this is probably as good of an example as it gets.
you see confirmed delivery?
Yeah, plenty. Latest as of 10 minutes ago.
I think I'm not seeing session replays. I don't know why. I checked a lot of user IDs and I wasn't seeing session replays.
Did we go over on
That's
Century?
what I'm wondering. Um,
No, there's a replay as of a few seconds ago. So also depends on their phone. We could check amplitude and see what phone they're using.
okay, we'll look into it in a minute. Okay. I mean, you're still having trouble here?
What's up?
That was
Yes.
Yeah, are
Just,
you still having trouble with this?
yeah, I'm trying to log in with this phone number and I'm getting this like from. It says it looks like
Okay,
this. Is
this might be something I just did. Let me check it. I just applied this to QA maybe an hour ago, and I could talk more about that later. But let's see. Can you send me that API, the request body? You mean?
the query name or like what's it like?
Like the request that you're sending for the register user.
Like the whole thing, the variables and everything.
Yes, please. See, that should. Aha, there we go. Yeah, I didn't apply it here. This was just for some notification filtering. Okay, this should be resolved in a couple minutes. This is only in QA. I did it about an hour ago.
Still want me to send you these?
Uh, yeah, it could help, but I think we're good.
Okay. So I'll wait like a few minutes and do a login again.
Yep, I'll let you know. Well, let me actually just kind of give an example of what happened here. So we got an email from a user. Actually, she had blocked somebody. Actually, it was a perfect example that you were giving, John. She had blocked somebody, one of her exes, and he had onboarded onto Circles, and she got the notification that user is now in Circles. And she was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, well, she's like, I didn't expect to get a notification from him." And why is that the query that determines that it wasn't dependent upon a requesting user. So it was going off of just the phone number. So there was nothing that was like identifying that user. So I added the user identification to it to prevent that notification from being sent out.
I got you.
Yeah, but she was like, he tried to add me as a friend or something. I was like, no, it was like you just add him into contacts, but we'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
Cool. Okay. Um, so this is going to be in QA for now.
Yes.
Okay. But it was blocking the auth code for some reason.
But it's part of that register user mutation because there's a lot of stuff that happens when you onboard. Like when you call that register user, these notifications is one part of them. Notifications, it's like, oh, this user's joined Circles. Would you like to follow them?
Okay.
Like somebody in particular, somebody from your contacts.
Okay. Um,
Let's check GitHub. That should be almost done now.
Ahmed, will you I don't think I have a phone in QA. I'm charging my other phone, but will you push that change you made yesterday to production so I could see it?
I mean, you want to try again? I can
No,
handle
John, in QA it is only. So I was waiting for you.
All right.
We're talking about the line break.
No, this
Yes,
is no, it was a
yeah,
change
line break.
to a text message.
Yeah, the line break.
Text
Okay.
message is fine, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
What happened to that? How did it get changed like it did? Ended up with two heart emojis because we
Mm,
had it correct at one point.
I don't know. I know we had a change to it like about a week ago. There was a change you wanted to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was part of the change or I don't recall if that was part of the messages.
Okay, because it didn't resemble what
Mhm.
I sent in Slack. So let's I want to see what it looks like. So it's gonna be, are you pushing it to production then?
I will. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll test that out. Um Todd, when you were testing the tagging the friends, um what what I forgot what you reported was
Um,
what was working.
I yeah, with tagging, it actually uh all seemed to work. Um, I was confused at first. I thought when tagging um uh people externally, um, it was I was expecting to see the chat created after the check-in,
Yeah.
like a group chat,
Yeah.
and I didn't see it initially. And I
Mm.
told Amit that it wasn't there, but it wasn't until like maybe a little later in the day, as I happened to scroll down to the very, very bottom of my lobby, which I have a ton of chats.
Mm.
They were all there at the very bottom.
Oh,
Of, so I didn't. So they were there,
okay.
but they didn't have any messages in them. There was no dummy message and no message inside. There was a red dot next to it indicating it was a new chat or new message, but was sitting at the very bottom, and Amit was going to work on that.
So, Todd, I check about it. Somehow your group message has not been created. Otherwise, I check it. It will be always come into the top.
But it was created and it was at the bottom of his lobby.
He
Yeah.
has already group with that. Not like I was saying, he has already a group with that user earlier.
No,
So new
not
message have
not possible, right? Because it was an external user.
let me check what.
Yeah, let me think about that for a moment.
Had you
What
ever
are
set,
what are,
like had you
can you
ever created a group chat with that external user before, Todd?
No, because here's the thing. I couldn't actually create group chats. I tried separately from check-ins. So aside from check-ins, all I set that aside. I was just since I couldn't see the the group messages that I thought were going to be created from the check-ins. I thought,
Mhm.
well, maybe group chats just isn't working. Maybe I
Right.
can't even create the group chat. So I tried creating group chats, but it wasn't working. I couldn't even create a group chat with an external user.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So
Did you?
can you please
So
ping me that phone number?
Now,
Phone
external
number.
chats have issues in QA. Make sure you're testing that in production.
yeah, which is 25, right?
A 25 is
25 QA.
26.
Wait, hold on.
26.6 production.
26 is QA or production?
Production.
Oh, I'm mixing up my test with Jerry and then test with Amit. Hold on a sec.
You'd probably be in 26 either way.
Well, no, because I was testing something. I think it was with Jerry where he said, no, you have to go back to 25.
Hmm.
And I can't do that in Android. I have to do that with iOS.
I did recall. Sorry, I was not fully in it. The external groups are going to have issues. Like if you respond to an external message, like
Mhm.
if you're an external user responding to a message,
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't get recorded because of the disconnect. Because we have Twilio sharing our QA and production environments, and it
Mhm.
doesn't, there's no way right now because Twilio only supports one environment.
Okay.
That
That makes sense.
if you should be able to get the message, but I don't think you can respond to it.
That's
So,
right. And I sent that to Amit. And he said the same thing, and that's fine. I need to
well,
go
wait,
back
wait a
though.
second. Question: are we saying that it's broken in production?
No, QA.
Okay, so what? Well, let's just test it in production only then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Let
was
me
because of the API. Because I was trying to. There was issues with the API this weekend, and I did not have the time to go through and have it working in production and test it and make sure we didn't affect anything until Sunday morning.
Okay.
So this was all Saturday, I believe. But then Sunday morning, I got it working in production where I was able to test it from old and new app versions, and that's when I went and pushed it to production.
Okay. So, Todd, you'd never tested the group chat with an external user in
I
production.
thought I did, but let me go back and check. And just to confirm, 26 is pointed to production and 25 is pointed to QA.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And let me double check here on my Android again and get right back to you.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back in a minute. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I went ahead and shoot, where was I going with this? Let's see, I pushed it to production. I tested external chat with one of my Google Voice numbers, and I was able to receive and send messages in production.
Okay.
The data update yesterday. Really.
As far as just a group chat with an external user.
Yeah,
Okay. But
I didn't
about
test the check, but I did test just the I didn't test the tag. I just tested the group message.
Okay. Let's test the tagging extensively. I mean, were you able to get in? Is everything working for you? I mean, were you able to get past onboarding?
Yeah. I sent you a message. Yeah, on a smaller device, I sent you how it looks like.
Okay.
The iOS 18 share contacts. The text is not cropped. Yeah, I was expecting that because it follows the container width or
Right.
dimension space. So
Mhm.
whatever is available, it's gonna be always there. Maybe it was taken here to the next line,
Yeah. So
but
it's wrapping.
that's because,
Is that what it's?
huh?
Does it wrap? Is that what it's doing?
Yeah, it's roughly the next line because like the whole image is not fit correctly.
Right.
Like I'm not sure if you can see it. I
I
sent
do
you in
see that.
Slack.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So there's actually
So
plenty of room on the left and the right margins.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the whole image is not fit correctly
Hmm.
in smaller device. So I'll fix this,
Okay.
and as I'm gonna fix this, it's gonna fix the line wrapping
Yep.
here for it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Great.
But
Yeah.
as the font looks smaller on the Pro Max, that's a. I mean, I can fix it here specifically here to do a if a phone has those dimensions, apply this font size instead. I can do that, fix it in here. But yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be widespread everywhere in the app um
Yeah. I
where
think
like
it.
we have the same
I
thing.
think. Yeah. I think it's fine. I mean, it's not like it's too small on the Pro Max, but you just don't want the formatting off if it's
Mhm.
on the smaller
Oh,
phone.
yeah.
So
Okay. I'll just make the font size bigger in here for uh Max phones.
sure, you could do a tiny bit bigger. And then, are you going to increase the width on like the smaller
Yeah.
phones
Yeah.
so it
That's
fills
true.
in the margins better? Okay, cool.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, look, it's actually covering the text underneath it where it says, "How do you want to share your contacts?"
Yeah, I did it this way because like this image is just an overlay on top of things.
I see.
Because
Yeah.
as soon as you press next, you see things already. Like you're not gonna wait and everything.
Hmm.
So that's why you can see that H on the left.
Yeah, but
If it
it
was,
also it's covering the "How do you want to share your contacts?"
oh, the one, yeah, that's true. Yep.
So probably bring it up higher. But I mean, you might not need to once you increase the width.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, play with it a little bit, see if you
Okay.
look it on
Okay.
all the devices. And then after that, are you going to look at the let's see, the what was most
Yeah,
important?
like I'll look into the issues you sent me over the weekend.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one's the most important. I mean, I guess the font color is kind of easy. Um, remove the show more button.
Yeah, the undefined one. That's what I wanted to do. The
That one's
undefined,
yeah.
the home menu,
Okay.
and yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know how it goes.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Let's see. So let me know when you're ready to test some of that, and then
I'll let you know.
okay, I'll get another update. How about Ismail? How's it going over there?
Going good. Let's see here. So yesterday we had a few bugs. One of them was the when Chantal was reading the book, sometimes it would crash, and apparently on what's it called, Century, it was saying that it was because of a replace that I was trying to it was trying to replace for undefined. So I went in there and I found all the replaces, any of them that didn't have a question mark for safety, like checking if it's null or not before it does it. I added it there. So hopefully that fixes that problem. So she shouldn't see that anymore.
Good, good.
Um, Another problem was the cards. It was showing undefined when you create a topic for like a movie for
Yes,
entertainment.
yes.
So that's because when that text got refactored, um, it was refactored and it was fetching data from the topic, which isn't that doesn't exist yet, like a topic object.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed it where it fetches the data from a prop that we pass instead of
Oh,
relying on a topic because it's still not sent, so it didn't exist. So
okay, great.
that's why that was there. Lastly, I continued. Oh, oops, get this. I continued working on the notification screen, the new notification screen, and you can see now that
Oh,
we have a. This is how the new screen
oh,
looks.
nice. It looks more like a link. And we got
Mm-hmm.
notifications there. Lovely. Very
Correct. And members is still members.
cool.
Um, this one is notifications. So if you click on it, it's gonna look like this
Oh, it's
now.
clean. Nice. Very
And
nice.
obviously cancel takes it back, and you can select any of these now. Obviously at the moment they're not selectable because I still need Amit to give me that API once he's done with it so I can connect it. So when you click on these, it actually makes a mutation call and it would save
Hmm.
whichever one got passed. But I went ahead and got all the UI done so that when that backend's ready, we can just plug and play.
Okay. Will the cancel confirm buttons move up if it's a shorter phone? Like they won't get cropped down
I
there.
have them where yeah, the margin top and well, the margin bottom and top are auto, so that means that they are they take this length and they take this one and they center themselves. So if these shrinks, they'll keep centering themselves as these get smaller.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Very
and I
easy.
can make them fix at the bottom if you want to, but that's I think
No,
this is the
I like
freaking design.
that. Makes sense. Keep it centered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, as long as it still fits even with that, like maybe I don't know, maybe there should be a little less margin above pause just in case. I don't know. Maybe it's
Mm,
just on a short phone.
we
So,
can, yeah. And like I said, I'm just following Figma designs. If you want a little smaller, we can do that.
I'm wondering if
We can
is there
test it
is there
on
a
a
phone?
smaller phone and see how it looks. I think if it fits
Yeah,
on that SE, it should be pretty much safe.
because there could be a phone where it crops it at until I turn it back on the very bottom there, and like maybe
Mm,
that's I could see that.
yeah, I can, or maybe I can change it to a percentage where it goes based off of device size.
That might help. Chantel has the Android she uses on a regular basis has a very short screen. So it's a good one.
Well, I think it's not very short. It's not very wide.
It's extra wide, I guess you could say. So makes it more square.
Chantel's phone? No, I think I have the same one. I'm pretty sure it's like a rectangular shape where it's
Yeah,
uh
it's very rectangular.
yeah. So it's tall
Okay.
but narrow.
So it's more
Yeah.
tall. Okay, so that's the
Yeah, I
opposite.
think it's about the same size as the iPhone. I think it's at least the same dimensions.
It's the same length for sure as like an iPhone Pro. Not the Pro Max, just the Pro. Lengthwise it's pretty much the same. Widthwise it's less wide.
I see. So we'd actually want it the other way. We'd want it more width and less height to see if the bottom was getting
Yeah,
cropped.
which is the SE. That's the phone that's like very short. Or
Okay.
other Pixel phones that are very old.
Okay. Yeah. Take a look just to be safe. But yeah, this is looking really good.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's I kind of spent my day fixing those three bugs yesterday and today. If Amit gives me the API, I can get this
Oh
hopefully
yeah.
functioning.
Amit was meaning to talk about that. So Amit, where did that stand?
Yes, yes. So let me share my screen.
Okay.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So 1 minute. Sound. Jerry, can you also please also focus?
I'm here. What's it?
So, Ismail, I have created one API which will give you option for this one for 1 hour, 8 hour, 24 hours, and unflatten it back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can use for both the places silence notification and pause notification. And API is 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. Get silence and pause option for group notification. Here, inside data, you will get period, amount, and level for 1 hour. You have to calculate based on the amount of our time. Like you selected for 1 hour, then you need to pass in the next API. I will tell you update one. What until when? Yeah. Right, Jerry? Like,
You muttered out. What was that?
sorry. So
You like
like for 1 hour. Like app will calculate the time, no? App will calculate time since when it should be pause or silence.
Yeah, that would
App
be
will calculate the time. Not sure I follow that.
we want a timestamp. We want to provide a timestamp for when the notifications will be silent, and the app should be giving us a timestamp and not just a key.
Yes.
So
Okay, that's
mute
doable.
8 hours, just pass a timestamp that is 8 hours from now. So for this API that controls the dropdown, I just included the period and the amount, and then you can use a library like Moment.js to calculate the how long it would be.
Sorry, I'm not. So the calculation part is that where I'm not following you. So I'll pass in a timestamp when I like if I want to silence it for an hour. I'll pass a timestamp. Um, okay. Why would you need a timestamp first?
So
Just a
like next
mutation.
step here, where you selected, like suppose you selected silence notification for 1 hour.
Okay.
Next API, yeah, you will call the next API, which is 1 minute. I will tell you. I will give the API. It will set group notification settings. Where you
Okay,
will ask
that's
group
gonna be the
key,
mutation.
mutation, yeah, where you will pass group key, requesting user key, and date and time, which you will calculate based on what you selected. For 1 hour, if you selected 1 hour, you will pass the next 1 hour time.
Oh, so you want me to pass
Yes.
1 hour after? Okay. Okay.
If you select 8 hours, you will to pass 8 hours time. Next.
Oh, I
Okay.
see. Okay.
Okay. Okay. That is clear. Now, third thing here,
What about the
once you
format?
select,
Is there a specific format that we need or for the timestamp?
I will give you the format.
Okay.
Okay. Third step here. So once you selected, now it's done. So you will need to show what you selected also, right? Since silence until.
Correct.
So can I return you this thing in the group? There's already a group settings API. So are you using that API here? Group settings?
Mm,
This is
not
the API key.
sure what we're using there.
I think get group settings.
Let's see here. Give it a second. As far as APIs, we are using a mutation. Um, for client, what is a GraphQL API? Okay, well, on this specific one, we're not using any APIs. We're just using create group, message,
Can you ping me
and
that,
update group message image. Now that's as far as mutation on that specific screen. I don't see any
query,
APIs on the screen.
query, get group settings.
Let me see where we're using that. I don't see it on the screen in particular. Let me do a search for it. Maybe the parent's calling it. I don't know. So we have get group settings, and that is going to be called inside group shareable link, which is, let me see here. So we're using a component here for like the group shareable link. Let me comment this out real quick. And if you comment it out, yeah. So we're just using that for the one where so you see where the link is, where it says shareable link. That's the component that uses it. So yes, we are using that.
So we are thinking, I just asked Jerry also. So I'm thinking I will return you silence until that is also in part of that API, group settings API.
Would you want it as part of that group settings, or do you want a separate query that gets your notification settings, like get silence settings or something?
Mm, so the thing is, we're not using that API, if that makes sense, on the top level of the. Give me a second here. Let me see what this one does. Sorry, I'm just. Okay, we're not using that inside. We're not using that API in that screen, if that makes sense.
Uh,
That screen does not use that API.
yeah. So do you want a separate API for it? Sounds like it.
Yeah, because we don't use that API in that screen.
Okay.
So
Okay.
or I mean, if you guys want to put it in that same API, I would have to
Mm.
call it again in that screen,
Let's
which
do a separate
which
API.
I don't know if it makes sense to you guys more or not.
Okay, then we will provide you separate API.
Yeah, but it's not used in that screen now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, then we can do a separate
Yeah.
API. That works for me.
Yep. So I will provide you three API then.
Okay.
Okay. So one you will get the option. Second, using you will do the action mutation. Two will be query and one will be mutation.
Yes.
Okay. So Jerry, give me that UDF new one.
Wait, UDF for the settings? Okay.
Settings. Yeah.
Is there a way to cancel it? So, like, let's say I said 24 hours, but I changed my mind. I guess.
Well, you're gonna need to pass a parameter to cancel.
I mean, I
Right.
guess, the first draft of this first phase, maybe we just.
No, we should. I feel like that's necessary just to have like a cancel. I was gonna ask Amit to pass a cancel to the back end.
I mean, it's not going to hurt anything, really, because, like, you can still check messages and see if you got one. Um, I don't know, just like layer, it's just more that has to go into it. But if you, I mean, I don't know, how hard is it to do that? Because there has to be UI for it too, right?
Right. Well, there could just be a button or something for. We don't have a resume button in here. I thought there was.
I don't see it. That's what made me think of it. See on the right? So you would,
We do have a turn back on
yeah.
button.
How does that even work? Did we get that far? I don't think we have a turn back on screen.
Well, turn back on is not going to be a screen. It's just going to be a button.
Well, yeah, on the screen, but we don't have that.
Well,
Anywhere.
that would be triggered after the mutate. Like if you select one
Mhm.
and then you confirm it, then you would get that option. So even like the first time around, it would see until like even if you selected the first time, if you don't hit confirm, you won't see that turn back. Only if you leave, you hit confirm, you leave the screen, you come back to the screen, then you'll see it.
Okay, yeah. So I leave the screen, come back through the notifications button
Mhm.
here on the left, and then I see that it's paused for let's say until I turn back on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there needs to be a button after that says like resume.
Oh, the turn back on is the resume button.
So it'll say turn back on the button.
So when you let's say you okay, so are you looking at the screen right now? The screen share.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on the second screen, let's say you selected 8 hours.
Mhm.
That 8 hours would be highlighted.
Yeah, like on the
And
right.
then if you and then if you click cancel, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
But if you click confirm, you would go back to the first screen.
Yep.
And then if you click on the silenced until September, if you click on that again, you would see
Actually,
that
if you hit confirm on the screen that's just the all white background, I don't think it should take you back to the modal. I think it should take you back to the chat because you did confirm.
Well, but what if you want to do something else on that screen?
Then you probably should have to go back through, just because it would be
Oh
weird.
yeah,
to
I
hit
guess it
confirm
can get
twice.
confusing, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hitting confirm twice.
Why do we confirm here again? Oh, to change the name.
Yeah, that's really the only thing.
Mm.
Yeah, because all the others, I guess leave chat. I'm not sure. Let me take a look at. I think that even brings up its own modal. Let me double check. Yeah, that brings up its own modal. So
Maybe we can change the design there a little bit instead of cancel and confirm.
yeah, it'd be nice because it's you really only need those buttons for one thing. How about the buttons
Yeah.
aren't even there? Well, we still have to get back. So I'm gonna say like the buttons don't even need to be there unless you start typing for a name. It's also the image too. The image uses it.
Mhm.
Let's not redesign it all. It's
Yeah. We could,
the-
yeah, I can just make confirm go all the way.
yeah,
Cancel will go back to the
that works. Yeah,
to that because but confirm will go all the way back to the lobby. Is that how we want to do it?
yeah, or the message because you'd be in the conversation.
The message, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I can do that. The only thing is, like I said, that turn on button after you go back would be instead of saying until I turn it back on, the last option, it would just be basically it will say turn back on, and if you click that and hit confirm, then that's how you disable it. So that's the resume button.
Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah, sounds good. I'm messaging. Got like 5 things going on right now. All right, good plan. But I still think we should have some kind of design for the turn back on. So Chantel, will you do one more design for coming back here to resume the notifications?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Look, we had one because remember we were talking about what did
yeah,
the button say? Does it say resume, restore?
yeah,
I think we went with restore. I can't remember now.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I do remember that. Let me see if I can find that.
Okay. Okay. So then between Ismail, Amit, you guys squared away.
Yeah. So yeah, we're clear. No.
Okay. Any questions, Ismail or Amit?
No, I think I have a plan right now. Off, I might have questions for Ahmed after he's with the APS, but as of right now, I see the end goal.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. We'll stand by that. We'll go to Wells and get his update. And I think Wells, you worked with Ismail a little bit, right?
Um, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Not yesterday. We're gonna work on that today. But yeah, 2PR is open and 2PR is approved. Gonna be merged soon. And I did get to reproduce that issue um the authentication error. So I am in the latest version of the app in latest development, and I have that exact same problem in which I cannot see the chat because I do not have the proper authentication because I was authenticated in a legacy system. So whenever Ismail and Jerry want to test that out and debug and see if we can find a way of solving that issue and doing the testing, we can because we have that exact state reproduced here for us to go ahead and test it out. And regarding the 2PRs that's open before we jump into the discussion about the the bug of the authentication, etc. I did open a PR for having the trusted images being full screen, sir. And I also added that if there are more than one trusted image, the user can navigate through them in full screen. So it's pretty useful there.
Oh, great. When you say navigate, you mean like swipe and see the additional ones?
Yes, sir. Let me share
That's
that with you.
fantastic. That is great. I forgot to even mention that, so I'm glad you saw
Mhm.
that to do that. That's great.
Yeah, I thought I was done with it, and then I was testing it thoroughly in different profiles, and I found one that had more than one trusted image, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, indeed, would be good to swipe there. So
Yeah.
I made
Now
it so.
I don't know if that code would translate into chat, but maybe we can ask Ismail because there are sometimes where a user will send two images into chat, but you can't swipe left and right on those. Do you think that would you'd be able to apply something similar to that.
Yeah, 100%. Let me share
Okay.
my screen.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, typically, if the backend returns the images as an array,
Mhm.
then it's doable.
Are we
Yeah.
doing that chat at the moment?
Mm, I honestly can't remember. I think we just have to
Okay.
check the data,
Okay.
but I think yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so here we have it, sir.
Lovely. Look at that. That's great.
Yeah.
I should have had to do this a long time ago because it's obviously didn't look like it's too hard for you, but it's a lot of value add for the users because I constantly find myself tapping on these and I'm like, oh yeah, they don't. It's
Yeah,
great.
100%. It feels so natural. It's just like it was almost there, and I think that's what makes it good.
Yeah. Okay, great. So
Yeah.
if all that's working well for you.
Yep. And also the PR for the pink bio edit is approved and all good. So I asked Jerry to have my QA account is bio set to be reset so I can fully test it out and make sure that everything is looking good before shipping it in.
Okay.
And that's the thing I gotta do before uh fully merging here, making sure that all the code is indeed working and etc. Because I tested it changing the state for my own app, but I have to of course test it with real data and QA. So
Yep.
I'll be doing that pretty soon. And if you look into my emulator here, um, uh, if you look into my emulator, the for example, if I go to a message here with Ismail, it's gonna be all white,
Why
and
is
then
that?
as well. If you see my emulator,
Yeah. Why is that happening?
yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to happen. This is the issue of someone that logged in, that did onboarding way back in the day in the app, and now has the fully updated version of the app. But my authentication was not done through latest onboarding, so I cannot see this stuff here. So we want to solve this issue.
Okay, so that's what you guys are going to work on today.
Probably I don't know how is Mayo and Jerry scheduled for that, but the app is here for whenever we want to plug it, see what we have there, see what we can do, and etc. Do all the testing and scenarios.
Let me see. Let me see that message again, the empty one.
Yep. Any of the messages are gonna be like this because
Yeah, but
I don't have a token.
something strange about this because the back button does not say lobby and it's almost touching the avatar. Um, like
Hmm.
go to a regular message, go to one that is normal.
Oh yeah, there's no one. There's normal like the
Well, what
chat
about
box. Let me
circles? Try,
see.
try circles, buddy. Oh, so they're all going to be like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I wonder why though. Even the formatting, how is that happening? Because normally the back button would say lobby,
Hmm.
and it's not positioned right there. It's almost like it's using like an old screen.
It's almost like there's something pushing this up also.
That too,
The avatar.
right? How is that possible?
I'm
So
not
this is like
sure.
a different screen. Like, how could it not say lobby?
Is Mayo you there?
Ismail, do you have any idea why?
Uh, you're talking about this screen right here that's on the screen right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is like not even the same screen because it says
Oh,
back the lobby.
this is this is the this is because this is QA. It's not authenticated. The APIs, none of them are going through. So all chat APIs right now are not going through. So
Okay,
so therefore, there's no data. There's nothing there.
it's just interesting that it's a different screen.
It's not a oh, because it says back instead of lobby.
Yeah, and it's touching.
Uh,
We fixed all that like months ago.
well, maybe because it's reusable with other screens, and we determine what screen to use maybe um based off of the backend data we get. That makes sense. So I'm gonna double check that, but I can't. I will say that obviously
Yeah,
that would only happen if you
yeah,
have
that's
something to say,
exactly that
Ross.
as well. So this button here,
Yeah.
John, it will say lobby in case we have the group data and everything working. And since we don't have that, because in this app scenario we are in this glitch in which we don't have the proper authentication for seeing the messages, then that's why the button is named back instead of lobby here. But
And
once
we'll
we
say
the issue of
back.
user actually get into
Yeah.
this,
It probably, I mean, also did that on purpose because, like, the screen is probably usable in other places, like the chat compose, for example, where you won't, it doesn't
yeah,
go back to the lobby and chat compose.
Okay.
So that's all by design. It's just
Okay.
the selector and the back button are never meant to be in the same screen, and they never will be if the back end is working. That
Okay.
makes sense. But because it's not, the screen doesn't know what to do.
Okay. I just want to point it out to make sure it wasn't anything else.
Yeah, no, it's not a glitch. It's just
Okay.
yeah, because none of the APIs are working basically.
Okay. So you guys, we're gonna work on the authentication token today.
Yes.
Okay.
awesome.
Do you need Jerry's help on it?
We might. We'll see.
Okay. Okay. Um, I really want to get a build out because of really only one aspect more than anything, and it's the group chats that you can join. You know, at the top of the lobby. Just that feature would be really helpful right now, and but we're combining so many other things that it's like pushing out that feature, obviously, because we can't release just that one, or maybe we can. I don't know. Is it too late? Would it be too late to release with just that? Like if we kept some of this other stuff out, are these on separate branches?
Mm, sorry. So, what exactly are we trying to release only? Sorry, just
The most important
answer
thing,
that for a second.
I mean, any bug fixes would be great, but the
Mhm.
most important thing is the group chats that you can join at the top of the lobby.
Okay. Mm, so that's already part of. So, what do you not want? I guess is my question. Because that's
Well,
already merged in.
right. Yeah, the stuff that I'm worried about is all this stuff that's like work in progress. Um, so um like all the stuff Amin was showing on his screen, the tagging friends, like all that stuff is still work in progress and obviously not, you know, reliable. So that I wouldn't want to necessarily introduce that right now. um,
Is that merged in? I mean, because whatever is merged in has to be undone. I know, for example, I have a few things that are not merged in. And for like as far as my end, anything that's merged in as of the moment is ready to go to production with the edit and other bug fixes.
yeah,
Now then this notification thing and the shareable refactoring the shareable with the cars, that's not merged in yet because well still not done.
yeah. Is that
So
even build 26?
yeah.
It is okay.
No, the shareable stuff is not in build 26.
Oh, it's not okay.
Yeah, it's not. So build 26 is basically where we're at. Anything in build 26 is already merged in. Is there
Okay.
anything in build 26 that you do not want?
Well, the tagging friends is there. Um, the new version of it. Maybe we can get it done today. Um, let's just test it a lot. Um, and then maybe we can get that production build with that and everything else that's already merged, and
Yeah.
then hold off on merging this new stuff.
Okay, and we want Wells's image.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
because
yeah, no, we're not.
that's not too complicated. That's nice. That's a nice feature.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too complicated. Okay, so that being said, let me see. Uh, I guess I have the things for the undefined. I'll get those merged in, and the the one for the undefined and for the when you're composing a like TV show or movie.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, the replace when it crashes. I'll get those two in, and I'll leave the rest of my code. Um,
Okay,
not
perfect.
merged in until we're done with the notification, and we'll have that for next build. As far as what you talked about with Amin, so yeah, we have two options. Either he finishes it, and if there's bugs, he can get it done today, or we can remove it if you don't think it's going to be
Okay.
ready today. And Amin could just revert his code on that specific.
Okay. And then what about the authentication token stuff? Is that
Well, as of right now, Jerry doesn't have it
okay? So we have
authenticating on the production, so that it's not a risk.
okay.
And I will probably recommend not merging it in just yet until we actually have a until we actually really test the solution, because it's a very nasty bug if it's not working. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
so I would not recommend having it part of this build.
Okay. Then we got a good plan. I'll work with Amin today and focus on all the. There's some stuff in onboarding that got it was related and unrelated a little bit to some of it, but a few different things there, and then the tagging of friends and all that. We'll we'll try and get all that dialed here in the next couple hours. Ideally, we could get a production build before Amin is done for the day, just in case there's like something real obvious, and he could make another change, and we could get one more build if we needed it. Um, but it would be great if we, by the end of the day, we're satisfied and we can submit it to the app stores. Because then, even then, it takes a couple more days after that. So that'll be our goal. um, so Wells, what else are you working on today?
Yeah, today on the investigation for that glitch and for any other requests that are holding up to be done that is sent me on Slack.
Okay, sounds good. Um, Jerry, did you deploy that change to production for the text, the invite text?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check that out. Let's see. You also, on a side note, Jerry, you trimmed the space before. Well, you actually, I don't know, you did something that made it not undefined, so that's good. But I still see the space. I'll send you a screenshot.
Um,
And it's still alphabetically out of order. Like the space is ahead of the A's.
I see. I see. Okay.
You want me to send this to you?
Yeah, just send it.
Okay.
I don't know a list.
Okay, on the way. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, and then I'm testing. See what that looks like. I want to get some numbers from you too, Jerry, to see some if we have some stats on click-through rates on some. The line break is still not. I guess it is line breaking technically. Like, I'll send you a screenshot of this one too. I'll put it in development because I don't know if Amit would be the one that changes, but it's technically doing the line break,
Mm.
but not a space. I want a line break and a space between them. So
Okay.
once,
We need to give two language there.
yeah, I just sent you a screenshot in development.
Okay, we need to give two language there.
So I do want the line break, but an additional space. So it's like two separate paragraphs.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I'm even gonna stay with this message very much longer. I don't know how. I don't think it's converting very well, but it's hard to say because it's not hasn't really quite been the right format. So let's get it at least looking better. Cool. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have here? Okay, so Todd, I got your text. So disregard these screen records.
Yes.
Okay. You guys are working on the external.
Yes. Right now.
Okay. And you got to jump in a call here in a minute.
That is correct.
Okay. Well, when you're freed back up, let's devote some time, me and you and Jerry. And there's a couple things I want to test, which is external chat and testing the tagging. But
Yes.
also the new phones that we have to simulate a brand new user. We already revealed quite a bit, just the one test. There will be
Yep.
more, there will be a lot more.
Agreed.
And we got to do it in different scenarios, like sharing contacts, not sharing contacts, allowing notifications, not allowing notifications, sharing one contact. A few, it's going to be, and then adding, trying to add a contact later or sync contacts after the fact. And I want to go through a bunch of different, and then using the testing the dynamic links, the
Oh
universal.
yeah.
That's
Yep.
going to be another thing. So Jerry, we'll dive into all that a little later today. Okay, cool. And did you have anything you wanted to add, Jerry?
Regarding,
Just any kind of updates or any questions for anyone?
I got to get that ticket going, and I'm just looking to the external chat stuff, making sure everything's working there. There's a couple things. There's one thing I saw needed to do, like if an external chat member sends a message, their label isn't showing. So if there's two external users in a chat, and one person said, like an external user sends a message, the other external user doesn't know where it came from.
Interesting.
I'm working on it.
Okay, good call. And I mean, you have to prevent that drawer from coming up on the tagging one person. So Amit, what do you have going on for tomorrow?
One minute. So tomorrow, John, inside notification, I need to do some logic for silence something, silence and pause. Pause, I don't need to do anything. Silence, I need to do.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Ismail, I would like to do a styling change before I forget, with your help on the groups above the lobby. Could you work with me on that for a minute? It shouldn't take long. But could you share your screen and let's look at the Figma design and then what's in the app?
Okay. Where's that on the Figma design? Would you have the link for that?
Yeah, Chantal, could you send the link for how the groups look, the ones you can jump into at the top of the lobby? Could you send that to Ismail, please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I thought that was already in the app.
It is in the app, but I want to work on the styling. It's not
Oh, gotcha.
in this. So yeah, there it is there. Yeah, she'll send you the link.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna switch to my headset. It's gonna need to disconnect for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah, it was kind of odd. There was a guy in the investor chat who was asking how to get rid of them at the top.
Can you send me that?
Yeah.
I wonder if he was referring to something else because that is very odd.
Well, he was referring to one of the King's chat or something like that, and he was like, "How do I get this to go away? Because
I think he meant
I'm
maybe
not
just
one
how
of
to.
those things."
I think he must have meant how to leave the chat because this has not been released.
I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. So while we're doing that, Ismail, for one, the list of these, I want to move them more, a little more to the left. They don't need. It doesn't have to have so much margin on the left hand side. So like the one that says testy.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, because he was talking about Raider Nation. For some reason, I thought it was a different one. Okay. Yeah,
What
he's
do you-
just going to figure out how to get rid of topics.
Topics, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, to
Uh,
delete the old ones. Yeah.
Well, it's because he doesn't want to see stuff about Raider Nation, which is the topic, because he's a Broncos fan.
It's funny.
And
Okay.
he said, along with other ones,
Okay.
he said he can back out of the chat. He's like, which is never going to happen, but he just can't with the other topics.
Okay. That's a good question for another day. But hey, Jerry, what kind of implications are there if a user wanted to remove a topic from a group chat for their from their own perspective? Um, how difficult would that be to essentially hide it just for one user?
We kind of do something similar. I guess for like blocked messages, like blocked users,
Mm-hmm.
kind of something. I don't think it's that. It is complex for sure, but it could be possible.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll revisit it. Maybe Chantel, you could work on a design of the UI of like how a user would actually
Yes.
accomplish it.
Yeah. The other thing I just wanted to bring up, I did put in dev, is that edit trust tips aren't working. At least not as as designed, expected. So if I go to try to edit it, I can't edit it. It removes the message altogether and just
Oh,
throws me back into compose.
that's right. That's a bug because it didn't
Yeah.
used to be like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That needs to get addressed right away. Um, who should maybe we'll go to that next, Ismail. Okay, hold that thought, Chantal,
Yeah.
and um, we'll talk to Ismail about it in a sec. Okay, so yeah, so Ismail, let's check out the Figma design. See how it seems like the well, obviously the name is longer under the Figma design one, but it does get closer to the left side. You might be muted, by the way.
Oh, I was muted. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And I want to test to see, like, I want to make sure that that whole group name displays like it does in Figma. So perhaps we
mhm.
could get one, name that. Or I guess you could just change the name of that one.
Do what now?
Let's change the name so that it is the full name of the Maggot Army chat, like a long one, or the Never Board Club.
Okay, so the width. I mean, we are gonna have to maybe make them close to make this. Okay, so give me a second. I just need to do some prep work before I can make these changes because I need to. First of all, I need to submit these right here. These are for the PR, and then I need to commit stack the rest of the code. So, uh, yeah, because if we're gonna do the changes now, I need to basically save my work for what I was doing.
Okay, I see. Let's do that.
I thought we were just gonna go over them like very like start talking through. This one's different. Take a card down we need. Take a card down we need. We need this, we need this. That's it. Set this again. And this one. Okay. So I'm just gonna need to pay. To go to view quote. Okay, that should be for today's build. The rest I'm gonna need to stack under let's see, notifications. Okay, I think yes, gosh, I'm including this one. Fair enough. Now I need to branch for this one. Um,
Hey Jerry, I or actually you got a Amit on this one. I think this might be a back end issue. Amit, I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
Okay.
The start date and end date of an event is over 2 days, but the notification says it's on it's on the end date, but it's not on the end date, right? It's obviously going to be on the start date. Let me show you what I mean here.
So we can,
Okay, I'll put in development. So
okay.
it's
Event. Okay. And what you are saying down here, they
well,
in
the event is May 1st, but the
hmm,
notification says May 2nd
okay, might
because May
might be
2nd is the end date.
your zone time format might be the so let me take
Okay.
mostly formatted date.
You're kind of muffled on it.
John, so it is happening due to formatted in local date.
It's hard to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's due to what?
Due to local date time.
Local date time.
Yes.
Yeah, but see how it's taking the end date and saying you're invited to the event, but it's using the end date instead of the start date.
So event date we are taking event date start date time new date format start date time new date object and then converting into local date US date.
Okay,
That's why. Mhm.
but
And from a database, it will be UTC date, right? Let me check one that I'm saying. Here.
okay,
See what we are doing, sending notification. We are taking event date as a start date from the database, converting into date object and formatting into the local data string.
okay.
Mm.
But I mean, it's also the right. If did you see this? I sent 2 screenshots.
Mm.
So there's the actual event itself. Go to the next one.
Mhm.
This is correct. This is the local event date and time. The
Okay.
notification, yeah, the notification should use that. Not and but it's using the end date, not the start date in the notification.
Okay. We'll see. Just a minute. It is on production, correct?
Yep. Ismail, how's it going over there? Were you able to get everything saved?
Yeah, everything is saved, and I'm looking at the component right now. So we said the first step was to make the name a little longer, right?
Yeah, in one of the examples, just make sure it doesn't have dot 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 at the end of it.
Okay.
We'll see if it fits. Are you still sharing your screen?
Mm, I should be. Let me try not sharing and sharing again.
Okay.
It's sharing.
Oh, it's sharing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it usually shows both for me, but
Do you want me to share?
yeah, I want to see.
Okay. So obviously some of them won't fit, some of them will. So
But I think they'll all fit because we have a 20 character limit and we space these much further apart than topics. Because the idea was that the whole thing would fit on one line. Not names, like we're not gonna. This is a weird example. There's not gonna be a list of names of users. These are just for testing. They'll always be group named
okay.
because
But what I'm saying is, we will like there will be cases where it would still be 3 dots. Like it would depend on like we can only fit so much in here, right?
yeah, maybe. I mean, they are pretty far spaced.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. We can increase it, but what I'm saying is that that won't guarantee it for every single chat name. Is what I'm saying. If somebody decides to have a really really long
Well,
chat
we can't.
name,
They can't do that because it's 20 character limit.
I see.
So it'd be 20 character limit, and maybe all caps would be like the biggest, longest distance,
Yeah.
which should.
Okay. Yeah, that's the width between them. So this determines the width, but we want to have the actual item, which is this right here. Shows us all the items. So and this is the group name, which has number of lines as 1. And so you see this has a padding right, which probably limits some of it.
What's up, Ahmed?
John, this local time is app is converting according to user. In database, it is UTC time,
Is that right?
mm,
So
and app is converting that to UTC time. Sorry, local time. And
okay, and that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing on the event. But what about the notification?
and notification, you can see my screen here. Start date time is here. Actual start date time in database is 2/5/2025, 8 UTC.
Yeah, but we want it to convert to the local time in the
Local
notification.
notification, like how we can like it should be a standardized US time then. So which
So, like,
one?
you mean we have to pick a time zone, and it'll always be that time zone?
Yes, so because backend will not doesn't know na. Otherwise, we need to check which user we are sending their
Yeah.
location.
Interesting. Let me think.
I think Pacific time. We should include a time zone here.
Yeah. Well, and it's just a date. It says Tori invited you to an event on 5/2, but really it's 5/1.
Let's do Pacific time. I mean, it's going to be, unless it's a very late event, it would roll over to another day.
It is yeah, it's 10 p.m. So it would actually be wrong on the East Coast. Is that the best we can do? We can't because it has to be per user. That's the problem.
Mm.
Right.
Interesting. Well, that's complicated. Shit. um,
So what we can do, if somewhere we are storing user location, then that we can convert that location time.
is that going to slow things down?
So I'm saying if somewhere we are storing user location,
Yeah.
based on the location, we will send the time, convert that event time.
Interesting.
We could try that. Yeah. We do have that from Amplitude. I think Amplitude does collect that information. Maybe we could start logging it. But yeah, this is definitely something that would have to be stored and addressed per user.
Yes.
But I think we either get it from Amplitude or I think we get it from also One Signal. I don't have anything right now that would say that, but
So
This is
the
very
easiest thing to do is just pick a time zone and
we are sending
that's
notification.
correct.
okay. So yeah. So this 10 p.m. event would look weird on the East Coast, but that's all right, I guess. Okay. Are we picking it now across the board for all events? Is that what's happening?
Mm.
Hmm.
Accepting for all the events.
Could we apply the time zone to the person who made it? So in other words, like we don't have to worry about who all is receiving it. Just when the user makes it, if they're in the Pacific time zone, we make it based on the Pacific time zone. If they're on the East,
Oh, we still have to fetch from One Signal, but maybe that would make it uh an easier fetch. I see what you're saying, John. Yeah,
okay.
but One Signal, I confirm One Signal does return to time zone, so we might be able to just grab that from One Signal.
Okay, that's a good solution then, because then that's pretty accurate for
Yeah.
everybody receiving it.
Yep.
Okay. Amit, or who would do that? Would you do that, Jerry?
Amit can get it. Let me grab that from him. There's a method here that you can get, and then that's something like this, and it's called time zone. So just test that method.
Did you follow that, Amit? How we're gonna handle it?
Yeah, well, I'm checking.
Okay. Ismail, what are you doing here?
Oh, you can see
And time zone. Okay.
What's that on it?
Yeah. So, Jerry, based on the player ID, we will get the time zone, correct? And we
It
will
would be the player ID of the requesting user. It's not a quick thing, but we could use One Signal to help with this.
Okay. So I will work on that part, John. Then
Okay.
that will take time. It's so tricky.
Okay. Let me know tomorrow how it goes.
Okay.
And we'll test it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we could let Amit go, right? Anything else, Amit, that you have?
No, so I will send Ismail API details.
Yes, he will need that. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Amit. We'll see you later.
In the UDF. Hello,
Yep. We'll see you tomorrow.
Jerry. It's for Jerry. Hello, Jerry. You are on mute.
Yeah, what's up?
I need one UDF group settings.
Wait, not group settings. We're doing it for the neat settings. I thought.
If the color, yes. We
Uh,
require
sure. Let's see. Mute.
group key and requesting user key will pass, and it will return me the selected.
Okay, I'll get that for you today.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Ahmed. Have a good night. So Ismail, I didn't see any movement around here. Were you trying to? Did you have you tried adjusting these at all?
Yeah, you can see that now they're touching. You look at the text.
Oh, I see. With the dot dot dots, right? Okay. Um, and what did you do?
So I basically removed the padding
Okay.
for the right side. So this one, you can see there's still padding because this is a shorter name, but if it's a longer name, you can see how they're pretty much touching.
Yeah.
And then the shorter names, like it's like it'll take up the full.
Yeah. Did it add letters to it? Go, can you
Yeah, it did add letters. So like you can see here, it says DANN, and then if you go back, it was just
I see. Okay.
so it
Let's
so it added like
padding, but like, well, I guess there's still like a little bit of padding.
there's no padding between this and this. You see, if it's like long enough,
Okay.
there won't be any padding. So like see here.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, the only way you can just increase the actual width of it, which will increase the padding here too. So this will look a little,
Let me
more
see
punch.
let me see the Figma design.
Here's a Figma design. Oh, sorry.
Okay. So I want to get it more. I want them starting more to the left, like you see here, and also the name of the group is a little bit more bold. If you notice that as well, I want to try and match a little. It's a little more bold.
The name, I think it's the same typography.
Doesn't seem like it in the app for some reason.
I mean,
I don't know why, but it. In fact, it almost seems like. Look, I'll send you a screenshot. Almost seems like the font is smaller. Maybe just because the numbers are so big.
Hmm.
Let me send you a screenshot of this.
it's just the same on my end.
Are the fonts the same size fonts in Figma?
Let me see here. So this right here, if I click on the font, it gives you a mixed style. So I really can't tell what the name of the font exactly is. Seems like a 700 width and 12 pixels. So the one used here is, and the title group name is Body Small, which if you go to it, it looks like it's
This is small body one bold on top and small body
yeah.
one semi bold on bottom.
So which is so the top one is correct. The bottom one is regular instead of semi.
Okay,
So
let me double check. Hang on.
oh wait, semi was if we no if
Oh
I like
no,
that's
you're right. It is
oh it
regular.
was okay. So it was regular. Okay. So yeah,
Yep.
that means we have the right fonts
Okay.
here.
Um, can we decrease the space a little bit between the number of people and the title?
Yeah, I have the line height at 14. Yep, I see you have the same thing.
Same thing. Why does it look so different on here? Um, hmm. Well, for one thing, let's start by getting. Um, I'm going to change the name of that first group. What's that? You're in QA, right? Ismail.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. What was that? I was muted.
You're in QA, right?
This is QA environment, correct?
Okay, I'm going to change the name of that.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. Let me fix the volume here.
Okay, go ahead and back out and come back to your lobby.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
What do you mean back out?
We'll go, I don't know, go home and then come back to the lobby. There. Okay. So I changed the name. See? So let's get the word the up against closer to the left, like kind of like you see in Figma.
Okay. I good?
Yeah. And then let me see Figma next to this. Yeah.